Hello, everyone, and welcome along to the Chargers TV. Yes, we're back on camera.
Yeah,
So,
back on camera, back on site. We've no banners up this week. We wanted to go a bit of a different feel. Again, cramming another one in. We are still at Swisher Hoops Academy, though. We will probably I reckon we might whack the McKay's logo down the bottom there at some point.
I think so, JB, just to keep the boss happy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But, no, we are back. We are on camera, Ronnie, and we are coming back from a massive weekend of hoops.
Yeah. Certainly, round 12, the Coles Express NBL1 South season concluded over the weekend as your McKay Timber Hobart Chargers head on the road up to Casey and Sandringham over the weekend. We're going to go into those results for you right now, and then we'll look at the home doubleheader coming up this weekend, JB.
Absolutely, Ronnie. The women 110-85 against Casey in their game. They're unfortunately going down there by quite a considerable margin, really, that fourth quarter. Second quarter and fourth quarters both really killing them there. Within three there at quarter time, half time, just saw the game slowly get away with them. Third term really fought back, but 33-18 in that last term, not able to get it done. For Casey, it was Taylor Simmons, I should say there, 18 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, huge game for her. Lauren Van Clunen, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And Rachel Bell, 19 points, 3 assists, 6 double-digit scorers there for the Casey Cavaliers, a dominant game for them. For your McKay Timber Hobart Chargers, Paige Bradley, 31 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Corey Coleman, 25, 5 and 2 to go with 3 steals. And Zoe Banks with 10 points there as well. Unfortunately, Ronnie, Kayla Steindl not able to make the road trip, a late withdrawal on that one there for personal reasons. So a shout out to Kayla. We hope everything's going well there. But just one of those games, Ronnie, we're really amongst it, really in it defensively. Unfortunately, they just weren't quite able to keep up the same amount of pressure that the Cavaliers did, and obviously lacking that little bit of size as well, proving costly as well as the Cavaliers got over the line there. In their game on the Sunday, though, in the women's, not quite able to get the job done there either. They were trying their best, but unfortunately just a second half lapse, not able to get the job done there. They did lead in the fourth quarter, but that second and third terms really costing them there, going down 89-71 there. For the Sabres, they had 4 20-point scorers, so 3 20-point scorers, 4 double-digit scorers, always going to be in trouble there. Funda Neckersglue, apologies there if we've got that one wrong, 25 points. Georgia Pinot, 20 points, 12 rebounds. Britt Smart, 20 points, 4 rebounds. Clara Wisher chipping in as well, 14 points, 11 rebounds. 6 assists, 5 steals, getting it done all over the floor. We know what kind of player she is.
Yes.
Once again, Paige Bradley with a really big game, 21, 8 and 6. And Sarah O'Neill, the only other double-digit scorer there. But ultimately, Ronnie, really just hurting from the fact that, Kayla Steindl not on the road. Defensive intensity not quite there. We spoke about it last week on the podcast that we thought the women had a genuine chance if they were able to sweep the table and get into finals. Unfortunately, though, one would have to assume with the results on the weekend just gone that finals are all but dead in the water, unfortunately.
Yes, but, really great to see the women, improving from last season and getting more wins on the board. They have a really good team behind them now. The so-called... news, not news, what I'm looking for, the so-called, I can't figure the word I'm thinking of, but, Dwayne Davey will be looking to really try and re-sign most of these players for next season, especially in the women's program. They've done well. They've just fallen short here and there on a few occasions. So, really great to see again the improvement and the changes within that whole group and what Dwayne has swung this season. So
really a different bit of a culture change as well. Really made the most. Really adapted to that, and I think that leadership of your Kaylas and your Paige, really lifted that. And Corey bringing a new spark in the second half of the season. Obviously, Angeliki in the first half, more of a defensive sort of minded player, but Corey just sort of opening, running and gunning. And she's still getting a little used to the way the game's played over here. Yeah. But just that high-octane energy offense as well that's really coming through, and seeing the development of some of the younger players certainly helped the group as well.
Absolutely. All right, let's go into the men's results now, because the men pulled off a couple of upsets over the weekend, JB. They go 2-0 on the road, and keep themselves in finals contention.
Absolutely. We actually spoke about it last week. We thought the men were pretty much done and that the women were still a chance. But a week later, we're talking about the fact that the men, results pending, could be playing for that 8th spot. I mean, massive game for them against the Cavaliers. They won 90-85. Were really consistent throughout. Second half, a lot closer, but it was that opening quarter there, 21-12, that really sparked them into action. For McKay Timber Hobart Chargers, Jacob Richards, big game for him. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Again, a guy who's really been, trying to come back into things after some injury, after some flu, playing some really good basketball. Sam McDaniel made the trip down to Victoria, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists there. I got 18 points, 6 rebounds for Jared Bairstow, 18 points off the bench for Zach White as well. A lot of contributors there on the other side there for the Cavaliers. Emlyn, 18 points, 6 rebounds. Mitchell Riggs, not Ronald Riggs.
Of course, no relation, mind you, though.
12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. I'm looking at the jump shooting category there. Ronnie probably got him covered.
Oh, I probably do, yes.
And Jock Perry, is that Jack Perry or Jock Perry? Am I reading that one? That'd be Jack Perry.
Jack Perry,
I do
reckon.
believe. 15 points, 3 rebounds there. It would help if I printed these out a lot bigger than I have.
Yes, the font there, JB. Good grief.
Yep, absolutely. I'll be getting the spectacles out sooner rather than later. So were the Sabres in the end as they went down to your McKay Timber Hobart Chargers. And outside of that fourth quarter, Hobart really controlling most of that game. 26-19 opening there. 51 points in the first half. 23-19 in the third term. And only going down by 3 there in the fourth quarter. Devon Watson, his best game of the season, 38 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 10 of 11 from inside the arc, Ronnie. 4 of 9 from deep, perfect from the line. Massive game for Devon. Sam McDaniel, another big game as well. 27 points, 11 rebounds for him. He was shooting the lights out as well from inside the arc, 62.5%. Jared Bairstow, consistent once again, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Zach White, 14 points, 2 rebounds. On the other side of things, though, some good contributions for the Sabres, just couldn't get it done. CJ Asquan Baird, 28 points, 4 rebounds. Campbell Blogg, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. And Tom Coppins, 16 points, 9 rebounds there. So I suppose we now look, Ronnie, after we spoke last week about the men's program. We thought they were done. We thought they were dead in the water. We thought that the knife had sort of been put in the back and then twisted. Unfortunately, on their season, all of a sudden, with results now pending their way, they are still a chance to sneak the 8th spot there. And, you never know what's going to happen when you make finals. So with 3 home games, coming up to end their season, it's going to be a real test. It's make or break, you would have to think, Friday, Saturday night, the doubleheader. But they have got everything to play for once again, the Chargers men.
Absolutely. I just wonder if Anthony Stewart played a bit of a grab from our podcast last week just to motivate the men. Because
I'm sorry to hear that if you did, boys.
Yeah, I was going to say because...
Don't play this one where we're pumping your tyres up.
Yeah, absolutely. Lord, as I said last week, I hope both teams can prove me wrong. When the men's team proved me wrong by going 2-0, and all of a sudden they're 2 games outside the 8. Crucial 2 games coming up this week with the grand final rematch and then against Keilor, which we'll touch on shortly. And then, of course, the funder to finish off. So this really now creates a huge kind of spectacle going to these last 3 games for the men's side. And then if results go away, they just might sneak in. But
they could be on a plane to Victoria.
They could well be. They need to win all 3 in order to give themselves a chance, I reckon. I think maybe 2 out of 3, you're mathematically still a chance. If you go 1 and 3, I think your season's done. If you drop all 3, then don't worry about what we just said. So.
But as you mentioned there, and this is one thing that Anthony's spoken about all season, home has been a problem.
It has been.
For some reason, home has been an issue this year. So all of a sudden, the Chargers need to turn home into a fortress. They really need to win considerably because if it's going to come down to a head-to-head with a team that you may have split the season with, you need that percentage to be as big a favour as you can. Got to give yourself every chance. You would think 3 and 3 is going to be their aim, but it's crazy. What a long week of basketball it's been, Ronnie.
Yeah.
I mean, we're recording this on the Tuesday night.
Yes.
Again, last Tuesday, we thought the women were a good chance to be in. The men were all but done. All of a sudden now, you look at the way the women's fixture is. I mean, it would be a miracle if they make it, and that's pending results for them and the opposition. All of a sudden, the Chargers in the men are a genuine chance now. Again, results pending their way, but an absolute toss of the coin and change of circumstance.
Absolutely. So we look ahead now to the weekend doubleheader. I was about to say local derby. I'm skipping ahead here, JB. But, Mount Gambier Friday night, Keilor on Saturday night. two big games in the scheme of things for both sides. I mean, Hobart's women's side still want to play spoiler party for some of these teams.
100%, and that's what they need to be looking forward to do, for sure.
And, of course, with the men's side, again, it's a must-win every single game here. And, of course, we're looking forward to the grand final rematch on Friday night, JB, where they're up against, somewhat of arch rivals, Mount Gambier. Of course, Anthony Stewart and I can't figure the Mount Gambier head coach's name. It's just escaped me there. So
we don't have it on stats.
No, we
Sorry
don't.
about that.
But Stewie's had a really good battle with Richard Hill. There we go. Now it's come. My memory's coming back to life here. And Nick Marshall has come back from injury and is in good form as well too. Mount Gambier have always been a very consistent team within the competition as well. So that's going to be a tough match-up in itself. And then we look at, Saturday night, with Keilor, where, again, the women's side, a chance to bounce back in that one after they played them early in the year. For the men, obviously, such a close game, one of the games of the season on the road there for McKay Timber Hobart Chargers. So really, JB, a mouth-watering appetite, which is a bit of a good teaser going into the local derby next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting matchup, as you mentioned there, Ronnie. Friday night, Mount Gambier. Saturday night at Keilor. Tickets are available. Graphics will be rolling on the screen.
Yep.
Check out the socials. There'll be plenty of updates and links there for you to check out. Mount Gambier, Ronnie, built a rivalry as well, not only off games that we've played, but that whole idea that the competition core is in Victoria, and then you had Mount Gambier from South Australia, and you had us from Tassie, and we sort of meet in the middle. So there's sort of that, not chip on the shoulder, but it's like, yeah, we're a part of this too. We can really get in the mix.
Absolutely.
And I think it's, it's just two dogs really fighting at it. Like, we want to get inside this cage right here. So, going to be huge there. And, of course, Keilor ticking over through the season. Already played them during the year. Just go over some of the numbers here.
Yep.
From Mount Gambier. They are in the women 13-5. They're going to be a really tough match up there, scoring at around 85 points, 45 rebounds, 18 assists. So they like to score the basketball. They like to get extra possessions. They like to distribute as well. A lot going on there. Of course, on the other side for Mount Gambier, in the men, 94, 95 points a game.
Yeah,
it's
good numbers.
It's huge numbers. 43 boards, 18 assists there as well. So they like to pour it on as well. So defense is going to be a critical one in this one. Nick Marshall playing well, 23.2 a game there. Meanwhile, on the other side, it is Mila Goodchild, who's at around 26 points a game. So a lot going on there for Mount Gambier. It is the Friday night game. Ideally, you would like to think that this is the game that you would want circled, particularly from a Chargers standpoint, the third doubleheader. They've ironically played better the second night of home doubleheaders this season, Ronnie. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. But Mount Gambier are going to be fresh on the other side of things, though. Keilor, much like the Chargers, are not. They will be up the road on the Friday night.
Yes, they will be.
Both sides sitting under 500 in the women, 5-13. So the Chargers, again, this is one of those games where, you want to make a mess Friday night if you can for Mount Gambier, but you also want to continue to give yourself every opportunity. Yeah. If stars were to align, they're 5-13, only 66 points a game. So again, a real turnaround there. And I know Dwayne Davey speaks about keeping that points total low. If they're averaging 66 points a game, a lot easier. 42 on the glass, though. They do like a rebound. Distribution a bit lower as well, 13.3. Lana Hollingsworth, 17.3 points there. On the other side there for Keilor, they will be wanting to ruin every chance that our men have, and they don't mind putting points on the board once again.
No.
87 a game, low on the boards, 36, 37 a game. So that could be an opportunity. But again, Hobart are a low rebounding side, purely on height, but this is a good opportunity for him to take advantage of that as well. Zach Triplett leading the way there, 17.4 points a game. I think from the men's standpoint, Ronnie, if we're going to put our Chargers hat on, we want 2-0. If we're going to look at this realistically in the way everything's panning out and the way they've played at home, there's a fair chance this is another 1-1 homestand. Winning the second game is going to be great against Keilor, but it is that game against Mount Gambier that they need to get over the line. The women as well for Mount Gambier, they're going to want to, our women's team at home has played really well. This is a good chance for them to really disrupt on the other side of things, build a bit of momentum, finish the season strong, get a win in the second half. If I was going to take my Chargers cap off and be unbiased, I'm expecting probably 2-0 from the women, 1-1 from the men, but completely wrong last week as well on the road. So, you can throw all your predictions out everywhere you want. It's going to be a really good weekend of basketball. Our last doubleheader for the season at home, both at the Hobart Netball and Sports Centre. get onto the Chargers website where you can find the tickets. So the Chargers NBL1 website, you can find the ticket link there. Try booking as always. Get on there. Still some birthday boxes available as well. So if the kids, mum and dad, if you want to use that tax check to spoil the kids.
That time of year.
Absolutely. Get in and enjoy a party box there. You get a visit from Rex. You get a photograph with Rex. All the kit and caboodle with that one there. Game nights have been picking up throughout the season, Ronnie. So hoping to finish with a bang on those ones.
Hopefully so, JB. So looking forward to the doubleheader coming up Friday and Saturday night. Of course, if you can't make it down there, we're live streamed by the NBL1 website or the NBL1 app. Make sure you sign up to Bounce Pass, which is the whole new kind of app or app within the app as far as...
it's the equivalent of it's not quite like what League Pass is with the NBA, but it's a lot easier. It's a lot more friendlier. It's probably a bit confusing for some people who have previously tried to sign up through illegal links. Do not do that.
No, we block all those illegal links, by the way, too, JB. We'll get them down straight away.
Absolutely. So make sure when you go on, you follow the link the Chargers provide, sign up to Bounce Pass. You get a whole heap of perks out of that
you do.
as well. And, no, it's been really good for the league, actually. A bit more exclusivity and sort of making it more of a premium brand as well.
Absolutely. So jump on that, because then you're able to watch the games live and free exclusively through the NBL1 app or the NBL1 website as well too. We're on air from 5:55 p.m. In the women and 7:55 p.m. on the men Friday night, and then on Saturday night it will be 5:25 and then 7:25 in the men. A few changes within the broadcast crew over the weekend. JB is out on Friday night due to family commitments.
Yes.
And Chris Simons, who does the expert comments on the SEN broadcast for the NBL games at the Jack Jumpers home games, will be stepping in with me, as I will call both on the play-by-play, and Simo will be there to call both. And then, of course, we'll, again, the dynamic duo back on Saturday night to cover all the action against Keilor coming up there.
Yeah, some really big games there, Ronnie. Of course, good to have Chris in. Chris brings a lot of insight to the game, not only from the ability to actually call it in the elite level, but has been around the game here in the South for eons and eons there. Chris is he's not going to like it, but you describe him as a veteran and a real senior figurehead of Hobart basketball. Has been around the Chargers program in and out in multiple ways over multiple years. So going to be great to have him on the call, great to have his insights.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to calling the game with Simo on Friday night. Now you can keep up to date with all the goings on here for McKay, Timber Hobart Chargers. Of course, once again, we're posting things left, right, centre. So daily. So get amongst it right here, right now. You can follow us on Facebook. You can you can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram, and you can subscribe to the YouTube channel as well too. So don't forget to keep up to date with all the goings on here for your McKay Timber Hobart Chargers. We are just a week and a bit out from the local derby, and potentially our final show next week as well too, before we have a break, and then we'll come back in podcast versions with any updates surrounding the club going forward into the future. But that'll pretty much wrap us up here, JB.
Yeah, good to be back on camera. Nice, short and sweet. Of course, the podcast was only around half hour last week.
So we did well.
Yeah, a bit of a miracle. Managed to put a word cap on ourselves. But good to be back on camera. Good to be back in front. And just for some idea of production on that one, because a few people have asked, to get the podcast going is literally transfer the video file, turn it into an audio file, overlay image, upload. Really simple stuff. Maybe as far as general editing, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Chargers TV show can be anywhere up to an hour and a half, 2 hour projects. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to know that my Wednesday, time of recording's Tuesday, my Wednesday is going to be heavily occupied with some editing. So that's going to be fun. But good to be back on air. And as you mentioned, Ronnie, depending on results, tomorrow could be our end of season show, essentially. The end of the regular season, so to speak, for 2023.
Yeah, potentially we'll
Let's hope not, of course. We want finals going on there, but no, we'll results on the weekend will pretty much determine that.
Yeah, we'll have more for you on next week's show. But that will pretty much wrap us up here from Swisher Hoops Academy. Great to be here once again. Thanks to Dave Bartlett and the crew for letting us down here on the front desk. I'm sure if he looks at the security camera footage, you'll know what we're up to. Hello, David. Hello, David. There we go.
And I tell you what, Ronnie, on a nice balmy, cold Hobart night, It's been beautifully cold in here tonight. Icicles left, right and centre, freezing everything off. So a big thank you to the heating supplies here at Swisher as well too. But no, a lovely cold winter's night. Where else would you rather be? Anywhere but Hobart.
Absolutely. Time to get back home to the actual real warmth in our own homes. On behalf of Justin Bryan, I'm Roll Riggs. We'll see you next week here on Chargers TV.
Of course, it would not be possible without our great sponsors across the league, the club, and of course, the Hobart Sport and Netball Centre. On behalf of the MBL1, we'd like to thank Coles Express, Zero Relief, Ronnie's favourite car brand, Mitsubishi.
Absolutely. What a car it is, JB.
Everyone's favourite shoe store, Foot Locker. On behalf of the Hobart Chargers, we'd like to thank McKay Timber, Skybus, Swisher Hoops Academy, Bennett's Mood Food, THA, Core Staff Marsh, AD Waterco, SS Glass and Glazing, Kinetic and Callis Hospitality. We'd like to thank again and appreciate our basketball partnerships with Basketball Tasmania and the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers, our media partnerships with the Mercury, 7HO and SEM. We'd also like to thank our player sponsors, Hank Petrusma, EIS Property, Bulk Nutrients, Campbelltown Hotel, Foot Systems, Exercise and Sports Podiatry, Josh Willey, MLC, More Confidence Consulting, Taz Precision Contracting, Pars Heat Pump Centre, D'Angelo's Restaurant and DS Projects. And of course, on behalf of the Hobart Netball and Sports Centre, we'd like to thank Zambrero and Schweppes Asahi Beverages